Welcome back to Parent Squad. So we just talked the college connection on the emotional level. Now let's talk finances. If you or a loved one is planning to borrow federal dollars for higher education, you need to pay attention to this story. That's because borrowing limits and hardship programs are seeing big updates right now. Allison Gormly tells us what's the deal with who's affected and some of the deadlines.
Now that the One Big Beautiful Bill is signed, present and future federal student loan borrowers will see some changes. First, borrowing limits. For those beginning graduate programs on or after July 1st, 2026, your max is $20,500 per year. Professional and medical students, it's up to $50,000 per year. With Parent Plus loans, you can borrow up to $20,000 per dependent per year. Before this, borrowers could take out loans up to the full cost of attendance.
Much of the rationale behind these changes is that by reining in how much people are able to borrow, that will incentivize colleges and universities to lower their tuitions.
Kate Wood with NerdWallet said undergraduate limits are staying the same. Another change? The number of repayment options are being reduced for both graduate and undergraduate loans.
Instead of having multiple options where you'd be weighing what your costs would be under different plans, the idea is that it'll be simpler to simply have one standard repayment plan where your payments are over 10 years, and that's that, and then one income-driven repayment plan.
Programs to help people dealing with unemployment and economic hardship are also seeing cutbacks.
We're good, sir.
This affects those getting a new loan on or after July 1st, 2027. Deferments for unemployment, which would more or less pause the loan and its interest, are going away entirely. Forbearances, where interest keeps accruing while you can delay payments, will be limited to 9 months in any 24-month period. Restrictions to keep in mind as you plan your future.
Now, just as you heard, there are different dates for different circumstances. Make sure that when you have a loan, you understand which programs you're signed up for and which dates apply to you, since the situation can change.
Yes, and it seems sometimes with this presidency to be happening by the minute. So you want to be prepared for all the changes and making sure you're covered here.
Well, even last presidency, both presidencies have made changes to the student loan program, and they all have different acronyms to make it extra confusing. But the student loan repayment program got an overhaul, again. So the goal is to make repayment more streamlined, but again, more streamlined also means less options, and also those borrowing limits that we talked about.
Okay, lots of changes. You could stay abreast of many of them. We're following along with Allison.